Yes, indeed. Make it 7 in a row for the Edmonton Oilers after they defeat the New Jersey Devils tonight by a score of 4-1, I should say, this afternoon. And the Oilers beat another good team that has been playing well of late. The Devils had come in winners of 3 in a row, 6 of their last 7, and the Oilers said, not tonight, and pick up their 7th consecutive victory. Calvin Pickard, his first victory as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Oil Stream postgame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're listening on our audio stream or via the TuneIn app, we appreciate you. Thank you as always. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, thank you. Keep those texts coming in via the nasty chat as one does. And then if you want to text in, if you're listening on your way back from the arena or just driving around and you're listening in your car, 780-218-9999. Tom Gazzola and Matt Kassian will be here shortly as well. YouTube Trev holding things down back at ESTHQ. I see Cassie's getting all set up. He looks like he's in a different location today. Ooh, within his home, I believe. I'll say this. It is Sunday. Cheers to all the 6 o'clockers out there, all you AM nasties. I might be enjoying one of those as well as we discuss Edmonton's 4-1 victory over the New Jersey Devils. All right. Text us 780-218-9999 or via the nasty chat. Let's get Matthew Kassian on board and on the show. He's ready to rock, it looks like. There he is. Hello, Cass. Where are you located in your house today?
Well, first, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I want to make sure I hadn't filled with my. Okay, good. No, I'm actually at Chappie's house. So,
you're at Chappie's.
Yeah, Chappie's house. So Brent Kassian and my mom, they actually have a good setup. And mom knew I was going to do the show from here today, so she set up some blue and orange lighting in the background. She's like, "That'll look really nice. It'll look better than your own lighting." And there's no closet door that's open behind me. So I think we're in good shape.
Absolutely. Mama Kassian coming through clutch. The mic setup is good.
It's better than mine.
Wow. The ambiance in the room with some orange and blue in the background. Look at that. Well done, Mama Kassian. I like that a lot. Hey, a lot to like in general today from an Oilers standpoint, Cass. What sticks out in your mind right off the hop?
Well, it was another situation where they led the whole game and they controlled the whole game. We talked before about how they needed to do a good job of keeping the New Jersey Devils to the outside and not giving up too much to the middle, and they really did that. Where they really challenged the New Jersey Devils with they just didn't give up the middle of the ice for a lot of the game. But again, they were in the driver's seat the whole game. Not once really during that game did you feel that it was going to swing New Jersey's way. Now, maybe early on when it was 0-0, but once Edmonton scored that first goal, it kind of was like they just controlled it, and similar to how we've seen and what we've seen the last little while. They just didn't give up those massive grade A chances against. And second to that, the other big thing that stood out was their penalty kill again today.
Yes.
Penalty kill was rock solid again. And you know, if it gives up one, this could end up being a different night. New Jersey could get rolling a little bit, but ends up being, I don't want to say their penalty kill, New Jersey's penalty kill was a momentum killer, but it certainly didn't build momentum for them. And Edmonton doesn't let them back into the game. So a great job by the penalty killers and a good job keeping the puck to the outside by the Oilers today.
Nicely done, Cass. Great assessment of today's 4-1 Oilers victory. Let's get into the game story from this one. We'll start with the scoring summary, get into the stats like Cass was alluding to. Special teams were really good for the Oilers on this afternoon. Derek Ryan did get the party started, his third of the year, 18:36 into the first period. Sam Gagner and Brett Kulak, the helpers there as the fourth line chips in. The fourth line, I thought, actually had a really solid game when they got out there. In the second period, on the power play, Evan Bouchard extends his point streak. What's he at now? 11 games. He's absolutely on fuego now, playing solid defensively too. That's very important. Nice to see the offense as expected from Bouchard, but the defensive side of things has gotten much, much cleaner, crisper, and better for Bouchard. But he gets his 8th from Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins to make it 2-0 Oilers at 14:20. Of the second period. In the third, a good forecheck. I'm not sure what Akira Schmid was doing, playing the puck in the trapezoid, and then you had Zach Hyman on top of him. Evander Kane comes in there to support, and Schmidt's stuck along the wall. And Kane finds McDavid for his 10th of the year into an open cage at 4:23 to make it 3-1 Edmonton. But 30 seconds later, Jesper Bratt would cut the Oilers' lead back down to 2 on a nice play by Nico Hischier, and Andre Palat got the secondary assist there at 4:53 to make it 3-1. And then into the empty net at 16:51, Lindy Ruff tries to pull the goalie a little bit early, and Evander Kane converts his 12th of the year into the yawning cage from Connor McDavid. 4-1 is your final. Shots on goal, 30-27 in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. 49% for the Oil on the faceoff dot to 51 for the New Jersey Devils. Edmonton's power play 1 for 3. More importantly, you heard Cass talking about it. The PK goes 4 for 4 against a power play that came into this game first overall in the National Hockey League, clicking at what would be familiar to Oilers fans at 34%. The New Jersey Devils power play was, but Edmonton's PK rock solid on this night. Hits 19-8 in favor of the Oilers. Block shots 24 for Edmonton to 11 for New Jersey. The Oil officially with 9 giveaways to New Jersey's 8. Both teams credited with 6 takeaways. And let's go to Cass on that penalty kill. A lot of lanes getting closed. It looked like there was a nice rotation at the top with the forwards on the PK. Just tell us what was going on and what was making it work for the PK today, on top of the fact that they got some really timely saves from Calvin Pickard.
Yeah, well, the timely saves are going to help. I would say they were clean on their exchanges, which is what you mentioned. Now, one of the things that New Jersey does really well is they, like Edmonton, you see really good power plays do this. Their movement is so crisp and so fast that as a topside forward in particular, you have to be ready to do you either exchange, like do you stop and let the other guy take it if you have a cross ice pass or someone rolls across the top, right, or do you stay with the player, try to force it down the wall, and you have the player in the middle hold that middle and end up doing a non-exchange, just switching positions versus exchanging who you're covering in that instance, and that can create chaos. That's one of the things that the Oilers power play does really well that makes it difficult for teams to track it is when that puck goes, all of a sudden you're having to do switches and who's going where, and now you have a longer way to go, and then lanes start to open up and it's more tiring because you're having to skate a further distance, and it can be really challenging. It takes a lot of communication to execute it well. Lots of communication to execute it well. And I think they, for the most part, did that. Now, there were a couple instances, which is going to happen against a good power play, where they're able to open it up a little bit, but Pickard comes out big, makes a couple of solid saves, not otherworldly saves, but solid saves, good saves, and that just gets the job done. Further that up with whenever the puck was on the Oilers stick, I can't think of a time tonight, maybe it happened once, where they had a clean look to clear it, and they didn't, which is oftentimes where teams get into trouble too, is you have a chance to get it all the way down the ice and you turn the puck over. They seem to execute all of those as well. So launched them all the way down, finished killing those penalties. So it was a solid night. But I would point to those exchanges being a big thing against New Jersey, a team that does move the puck very well. They managed to communicate their way through it and not open up the box too much when it did happen.
At PK 4 for 4 on this Sunday afternoon. Let's dip into the inbox, 780-218-9999. If you want to get in on the conversation. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, the nasty chat going strong as it tends to do. Let's go to Dirty Curdy. Dirty Curdy with his assessment today says, at the game today, and DR and that fourth line were clutch. Picks just dialed all game. Vinny's lack of foot speed and decision-making on pinches was suspect. Upgrade Brown in the top 6 and Vinny on the back end. Brown will be an excellent 3/4 line PKer. Lucky 7, play La Bamba with extreme prejudice. That's from Dirty Curdy. I agree with Dirty Curdy on the fourth line. I thought they had a really nice afternoon. Pickard absolutely dialed in, made some clutch saves like Cass was talking about. With Dirty Curdy watching Vinny Desharnais, Cass, what would you say on that one?
Yeah, well, I think, some of us had some concerns about Vinny heading into this one, myself included, where it was like, this could be a game where Vinny Desharnais gets exposed a little bit.
Yep.
But he holds it together. Trying trying to just pull up his stat line. Still ends up being plus player, 15 minutes on the ice, and he didn't get overexposed. So, yeah, I was listening to you, Tom. I don't know if you were asking about a specific play because I just saw that Gager jumped into the nasty chat and started calling this a princess room, and I got my feelings were a little hurt. And then someone said I was in my mom's basement. No, it's on the main level.
Huh.
It's her office. So I got distracted. So I didn't hear if you asked about a specific play with them because I was too busy reading the nasty chat and being hurt by Joaquin Gage.
Oh boy, Gager, be nice. Don't make me mute you. I'm just kidding. I would never do that.
I
It's
would.
Cass in the yes. I'll let Cass do that. No specific play. I just in general, Dirty Curdy was talking about the foot speed or lack thereof Vinny Desharnais. I thought he made a couple of really nice plays with the puck today. Showed some good patience and made some nice plays. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to this back end, skill wise, he's number 7, number 6, sometimes depending on the day.
But we talked about the penalty kill, and he is a big part of that penalty kill, and it's not for him all about foot speed on the penalty kill. It's about partially about his reach, about being able to cover a lot of ice, not have to go as deep into the corner to pressure because he has that reach, which serves him well. I mean, he's a good penalty killer for this group, which is one of the reasons you like having him in the lineup. Again, I thought that looking at it, it could have been an instance where maybe you're playing a Gleason and giving him more minutes just from a foot speed issue because New Jersey is so fast, but he holds up okay today. Holds up well enough anyways to end up plus, and Oilers get a win. So I don't think we can sit and complain about him and complain about his game.
It seemed like the Oilers were able to contain a lot, not all night long or all afternoon long, but for the most part, contain New Jersey's speed. And also, it also seemed like New Jersey, when it came to executing, just didn't have that last little bit of finish and polish. And then in the third period, I mean, they pressed a little bit. They got the 1 goal, but they were missing the net a lot. And when they were getting grade A opportunities, either Pickard was making a save or the Oilers were good on getting sticks on pucks and disrupting enough. But it seemed like overall Edmonton did a decent job of containing New Jersey. Do you think that's a fair assessment, Cass?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was talking about pushing the pucks to the outside. I mean, that's how you contain speed, is like you can skate as fast as you want around the outside of the rink, but if you can't get that puck to the middle frequently and get the puck through the middle with some speed, it becomes much harder to generate. And I think Edmonton did a really good job of that. Of any time there was any motion through there, they typically had bodies there, they had sticks, and they had people in lanes. So the puck was a little bit more challenged to move. Like they couldn't move it freely and skate freely through the middle of the ice. Everything was pushed to the outside. And when everything's pushed to the outside, all of a sudden you're not getting as many grade A looks. And as you said, they had a couple. But when they did, Pickard was able to make some saves. He did get some help. Darnell Nurse, after 2-on-1 save, is able to find a loose rebound, clear that puck away.
Yes.
Just as an example of that secondary help. So, they do get a grade A chance. You get a save, and then you get that secondary help to clear the puck away, to escape the danger, to cut down that high danger situation, or just to nip it, so that it doesn't, continue to build after you get that save. So they did things like that, clearing pucks away, as you said, sticks and lanes, making it tougher to get to the net, clogging up the middle of the ice, and not allowing New Jersey to skate with the puck through the middle with speed.
Yep. A couple more texts via the nasty chat. This one from Jerry Mancini says Calvin Pickard doesn't deserve to be sent down. He's earning his spot and should stay up for the long haul. Jerry, feel like you can keep him up here. The way I described it the last couple of weeks is no rush to get Jack Campbell up here unless they promised him something. And Cass, we've all kind of talked about it a little bit. So Pickard has proven he could be an NHL goalie at different times of his career. And right now, I don't see an urgency to get Jack Campbell up here at all, but we'll see what happens. M. Materi says, Brownie on the forecheck was great tonight. And then adds, Pickard is the Oilers' best goalie, maybe. I think it's still Stu Skinner, but Pickard was great today. Going to Connor Brown, because Dirty Curdy talked about Connor Brown being a good third, fourth liner. He's still on that top line on the second line with Draisaitl and Kane. I thought today might have been Connor Brown's best game. He seems to be skating better, Cass. Maybe that's a comfort level thing or a confidence thing. had the goal taken off the board in the first period when they said it was goalie interference. But I actually think that we are starting to see little indicators that maybe he is coming around a bit. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. It's not like he's been, beating the doors down with his play where it's just like, man, the puck's going to go in because he's been doing everything and has had chance after chance. I mean, it's unfortunate today. Yeah, I get why they call that interference. I don't necessarily love that they took it back, but I
Agreed.
understand it. Like I could go, okay, like if I'm a New Jersey fan, that's 100% interference every single time, right? Like if that happened against the Edmonton Oilers, we'd be like, yeah, that's 100% interference every single time. But because it goes the other way, maybe some people are a little, disagree with it. So
Yeah.
I get why they called it. Too bad, because I think that could have been maybe a little bit of a catalyst. I will say he does look like he's a little bit more comfortable
Mhm.
out there, maybe settling in. And I wonder if some of that is just he feels less pressure and expectation now that the team is actually winning and playing well, where he can just go out and play instead of maybe feeling like, he was a guy that was brought in to be the difference and he hasn't been the difference, to where he's settled in a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Which is very, very possible. I mean, you'd still like him to find ways to start to produce.
Yes, of
So
course.
yeah, yeah. Is it, was it a step in the right direction, even if it got called back to see a puck go in the net for him? Yeah, yeah, and I'll take that, and if that's going to bolster him a little bit here, continue to get the feet moving a little bit more, and again, hopefully, just continue to have him engaged, and playing better hockey than he did for the first 20 games. And yeah, I'm all about it.
Brown 12:48 time on ice today, -1 with 2 penalty minutes, and did have that goal called back on the interference. One shot on net. He did take a face off and won it. So that's the stat line for Connor Brown. It's not there. 1 point in 19 games. But like Cass said, like I said, maybe some indicators that it might be coming around. Displaced Connor. Remember displaced Connor, Cass? He's back. He's back. Says 7 and counting. I haven't watched Hughes play much. Knew he was world class, but wow, his diving skills are off the charts. Great win. I saw a few people, I think in the nasty chat, there was some discussion about Devils players going down a little easier. Any comment there, or are we going to see it
Maybe.
on the 21st when they're in New Jersey?
Maybe. I mean, Hughes is an elite world class talent.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a big guy.
No.
He's like 5'10" on the charts, which means he's probably 5'9". So he's not a massive body. So he's gonna go down. Was some of the guys go down a little easy? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not. It wasn't like everyone was a dive. There were some real penalties in there.
Yeah. Yeah, there
And
were.
and typically when guys do go down, even if they go down easy, usually your stick is where it shouldn't be. I think there was just the one, and I think it was well, actually, one on the other way. You want to talk about it on the other way? I think I thought Curtis Lazar's penalty on Cody Ceci was not a good penalty.
Right.
That shouldn't have been a call. So it goes a little bit both ways. I don't know. If it makes you feel good, call him a diver, sure. But he is a world-class talent.
Ontario Momes sent a gift to us in the inbox and says, boys, the Hughes brothers are Olympic level divers. I'm laughing at this gift. I love that our inbox now can receive and send photos, which is pretty funny, and little gifts as well. Ontario Momes also said, boys, McDavid represented the nasty well. He was greasy today, and it led to a lot. That McLeod hit was straight motor oil. Yeah, he was all over Michael McLeod today. And
Yeah.
I almost want to ask Ryan tomorrow if you had to tell him to settle down and quit going after your brother. But yeah, he was all over Mike McLeod. I thought that was funny.
He was taking out all the frustration over our McLeod not scoring for as long
Yeah,
as he did. It was
maybe
just like it
that's
was
it.
pent up, and he was just like, I'm gonna just envision his face instead, because it's almost like him, and just take it out on him. Yeah.
Those McLeod brothers are pretty friendly guys, though, I will
Yeah.
say.
Oh yeah.
Ryan McLeod took a puck to the net late in the game. That was nice to see.
Yep.
He went and drove the net. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, there you go. You can do it. See that? It's okay.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
You can
You're fast.
you can do it.
You're big. You can do
You're
it.
large,
It's okay. Yeah. And I joked earlier on the on the pregame show with Catherine Bogart if Michael McLeod could teach his brother a little bit about faceoffs. There's about a 13 or 14% discrepancy between their faceoff percentages. So maybe Ryan can tap into that from his older brother. So I'm kidding. Although it would be nice. Original Puzar chimes in. Good to hear from OP. OP says OP was in the Tikal Mayan city on Guatemala for the first 2 periods, but back in his villa in San Ignacio, Belize to watch the third. And yes, boys, he liked what he saw. OP, Original Puzar, good to hear from you. And hopefully enjoying a cerveza on the beach or in the hotel room or wherever he's watching. And thanks for tuning in, pal. Good to hear from you. Randy, where's this one going to go? Let's go to Randy here. Randy says, hopefully the parade route wasn't booked by another group in the time wasted lamenting the season was over when Woodcroft was coaching. Heavy sarcasm. And yet still pointing out Oilers fans are insufferable, but at least the reffing wasn't against them again tonight. Glad Connor didn't get called for boarding. Randy, good to hear from you, pal. Thank you for the text. Appreciate it. Another one says, real mature win from the group, and in the afternoon, no less. Did you guys see Ryan torch Gene in the post-game interview? No. What happened? What happened? Are we going to hear it? What happened there? I missed it. Cass, did you happen to catch anything? I didn't think so.
Nope. I was too busy getting set up in the princess room.
Joaquin Gage via the nasty chat says, who starts next game? What do you think? Skinner? Yeah.
Stuart Skinner starts next game.
Yeah. Jerry Mancini says, Gager, Oilers playing like Verstappen right now, taking charge. And then Penner's Pancakes says, Tommy looks like a minister tonight. It's, you know what, Penner's Pancakes? Like, I threw the blazer on after the pregame show to go to the game. It is cold up in the press box. It is really cold up there. There's a couple of space heaters that people are using. The broadcast teams use them. And a lot of winter coats coming out up there. So, I threw on an extra layer with the sweater. But I feel good. Look good. Feel good. Play hard.
Yeah, you look good.
No. No, Tom, I won't join your church, says Doofish P. I am not preaching anything today. I'm just preaching good vibes. Good vibes with a 6 o'clocker lager in hand. Good stuff. Cass, anything else come to mind today that maybe we missed in regard to today's game? The fourth line picking up a goal. Looked like Gagne played better.
Let's jump there. Let's jump there because I think that's important to continue to talk about is how your depth players continue to chip in. And how that one breaks the ice in terms of you're getting contributions again from guys up and down the lineup. Maybe that's what maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe that post-game comment from Ryan, was it Ryan that we were saying? There was a comment from Ryan, a jab at Gene. Maybe that's where it comes in. But
okay,
your fourth line, you want guys to be plus, and you want them to occasionally contribute, and you've gotten that. So another big goal. I mean, we look back the last couple of games, and the Edmonton Oilers being able to score first, but not just have the big guns scoring first, like getting contributions. You look at the McLeod goal the other night, you look at the Ryan goal again today. And I know it didn't happen in the first minute of the game. It took some time, but your bottom guys chipped in again. And that, Tom, is just going to continue to be important moving forward for this group, just to find ways to have those third and fourth lines just chip in. So it was great to see again. Those are the guys that are doing, and I know some of the big guys penalty kill sometimes too, but those are the guys that penalty kill as well. And they've been doing a great job of that. So not only on the defensive side of the puck, but the offensive side of the puck, they've been chipping in a little bit, and it's good to see. We should all be very happy with them and with their play.
Absolutely. A couple of points from the fourth line, +3 as Derek Ryan gets a nice goal off a feed from Sam Gagne. Brett Kulak with the secondary assist there, rimming the puck down low to Gagne. Good recognition, too. He delayed and he saw Gagne down low, made the rim. Gagne picked it up, and a nice backhand pass to Derek Ryan, who buried it. Okay, I like this text because I like the thought it brings up, and I really do want to hear what you have to say, Cass. It comes in from Eden. Eden texts in and says, great win today, guys. I didn't agree with the Woodcroft firing, but it's tough to argue with the record. Is this current run just reverting back to the mean, or is it something with the system/philosophy? Cass, where do you come out on this text from Eden?
Well, there's can I just say yes? I will say yes.
Okay.
That's my answer is yes. wasn't the system, it was the execution of the system.
Yeah.
With that being said, from a philosophy standpoint, could there have been a shift with the coaching change that has made a difference? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So and normally this is a preaching thing, really great preaching line, but that says that truth is intention. Oftentimes truth is intention. And I feel like this is one of those moments, except just in hockey, where, truth is intention. Is that, was it coaching? No. Was it coaching? Yes. Was it systems? No. Was it systems? Yes. Like
Yes. I know what you
there,
mean.
like there's both, like both things are true, and it's not paradoxical. It's not, they're not in total conflict. They're both true at the same time. Because really you can't, and the text said it, like you can't discount at this point that coaching could have something to do with it. You
Yeah.
roll off this many wins in a row. At the same time, I don't think it was coaching that was at fault for where they were in this season. So it's impossible to know. And some of that, Tommy, it's impossible to know because we're not sitting in that dressing room seeing how people are reacting to what's being said, seeing and hearing what is being said, seeing what those coaches meetings are like. Like we don't have the privilege of doing that
Mm-hmm.
and being involved in all those moments. So we kind of have to guess and speculate and assume in a lot of ways. But my assumption still is not that it was a coaching issue. It was more an execution, but pretty hard to argue with the record and the way that they have played since the change.
Now, K9 sends in a text that's along the same lines as Eden's, and K9 says, "Hey Tom and Matt, what has happened to this team since Woody left? Is Knobloch really that good of a coach?" And I wanted to get to K9's text, and then I wanted to add this to what you just discussed, Cass. How much guilt maybe is involved within the group for getting their coach fired, a coach that did get good results, a coach that did take them to a conference final and won 3 rounds in the last 2 years? Like, does guilt play a really big factor in that? And I'm sure another fresh voice, even though this team has had enough of them over the last 5-6 years, maybe that kind of changes things. But how much of the guilt do you think maybe comes into this?
I think it factors a little bit, but you get a week from the guilt, right? Like it's like you might get a good week.
Okay.
I think like that guilty hockey, it's a week. Now part of that could be that, because mentally where you were, you needed that week. Like you needed a guilty week, and that like to just power through that wall that was your negative mentality and emotion and confidence levels, like where everything was just, you couldn't do anything. And then it's like you have this big thing of guilt, and maybe it helps you overcome that inside of that week. Because they might look back and think about it now a little bit, but I no one's sitting there thinking and like, I can't believe we got him fired. They probably have moved on from it at this point, really. Because you just, it's on to the next day and on to the next day and on to the next day. But I think you get a little bump from the guilt maybe. But that doesn't last so long.
No.
In on the nasty chat, Nutsy Dealson, Cass, last year Nurse was constantly getting caught with no look passes on the boards, the puck up the boards. Now they're making plays or skating it out. Is that not a coaching / systems change? It's not a systems change. Now it could be a coaching change a little bit. Could be a coaching change. Now, if you've had conversations with him about, what to play into and his strengths in the game, and you've been able to identify some things, it could be a coaching change. Now, the reason I would also hesitate to say it's a coaching, not necessarily a coaching change, and it's just a player that for whatever reason was able to take a step back mentally and reassess his play and what he needs to do, is how fast it happened. Because from a coaching standpoint, when you're going to change those things stylistically in a player's game, and those habits take time. And the other reason I would lean back and say it's not necessarily, maybe I should have said that the first one too, it's not necessarily, it could be not necessarily a coaching change, is we've seen him do that in the past.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like the first time Darnell Nurse has ever all of a sudden played really well. Like we've seen him have the ability to do it in the past and do it for a pretty good chunk of time as well, which again, and under Woodcroft and Manson, like he did it under Woodcroft and Manson. It wasn't like he never played well under that coaching staff. So I think, could it be coaching? Well, possibly it could be. Maybe the things you said to him for Paul Coffey and for Knobloch, the what they've emphasized in video and what they've showed him and what they've tried to praise him for and discourage in his game, maybe that has allowed him to, and that has helped. It very well could be that. I don't know, again, because we don't sit in those things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, again, we're going to the truth and tension here. It could not be. It could be that he just woke his butt up and was like, wait a second, this is how I need to play, and I have to get back to doing the things that are going to help make this team successful. And then he actually went out and did it.
Mm-hmm. Cass, I know you're going to have to get going in a couple of minutes here. I have two things that I want to get to with you, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
Probably take a couple minutes, but one text via the nasty chat. I really want to hear this from you, because this was something that kind of came up a bit tonight amongst the media and the press box. It was actually just Chagra and I talking a little bit, and I think DNB got in on it a bit. And it comes in from Ray-Ban Man 72, says, any thoughts on Draisaitl line? Brown's goal was taken away, but they did get scored on. I think they're getting their looks and just need more time. Chagra was wondering about them as well. And I feel with how good things are going team-wise, that line has the components to be a very, very good second line. And I think Ryan was watching Draisaitl and maybe he was saying, well, do you think Leon is, frustrated that they're not getting much going 5-on-5? And I was like, I don't know what kind of reasoning Leon should have, if this is hypothetical, if he was frustrated that they're not getting 5-on-5 scoring, because he's got two veteran guys that I know Brown only has 1 point this year, could do a lot more, but he has an Evander Kane that's playing pretty well. So what do you think of that line, and what do you think of what Ray-Ban Man said about them just needing some more time together?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that I think they probably just need some more time together. Like, I don't think we've seen all the good from that line.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of seen the average. Let's call it the average of the line. Like when they're just they're there and they're maybe not controlling a game and they're just doing okay. I think we've seen that from them. We haven't seen Leon in the last little bit really dominate a game. 5-on-5. That's something that's been missing. And I don't think that it's line mates necessarily. For whatever reason, he just hasn't found a way to find that gear. Like, it just, McDavid quite clearly has found that gear again.
Oh yeah.
And has been jumping. Now, Leon's had some good power play success. They've been clicking on the power play. He's been a part of it.
Yeah.
Still getting some points. So probably still feeling good about himself, but just, hasn't found that gear 5-on-5 to dominate and control. And part of it, Tommy, I wonder if part of it is that he's trying to be a little bit more defensively responsible. Like he's not, because watch, he's taken a little bit of risk out of his game in terms of some of the passes he's trying to make, which is going to cut down on your offense. Now it's also going to help defensively, which was a bigger issue. So, does that mean he's going to be frustrated? Well, maybe a little bit with it, but they're winning hockey games and they're not giving up a ton against. No, I know they end up, -1 or Brown does. I think did Draisaitl come out even? I'd have to double check.
I'll check it right now.
Yeah. So, as a line, you end up giving up a goal tonight, but they've been pretty solid defensively and they've been playing with the lead in games. So Leon hasn't had to stretch for that offense.
Mm-hmm.
And actually if anything, I would say I'm happy that he hasn't been stretching for it, even when they had the lead. So I don't know. I guess I want to balance any criticism that people have. Now, I think it's fair to look at the line and say, okay, maybe there's an element of speed where it's not like a super, super fast line.
Yeah.
You could say, okay, well, maybe they could have some challenges here, but just temper with the way that the team is playing, just temper your offensive expectations, because they haven't been in a situation where they've needed to produce that offense. Yeah. And Leon has cut some of that risk out of the game, which means they're better defensively, which has helped the team win hockey games, which is what we all should be concerned about. Not just about Leon and that line producing. We should be concerned about winning hockey games. And that's what they've been doing.
Draisaitl today, 1 assist, even, and 2 shots, 52.4% on the dot, and 20:06 time on ice. And Cass, I think you made some really good points. Kane can skate. Maybe he doesn't seem like fleet of foot, but he can move. Did get a great opportunity on a nice feed for like a partial break. Got a big save by Schmidt, but it did lead to an Oilers power play. I can't remember if they scored on it. I think they did. And then Connor Brown does look like, if we're looking at the positive, Connor Brown does look like he's coming along. Did have that goal taken off the board today due to the goalie interference. So Draisaitl too, I should say, has 32 points in 25 games now, 24 games. So he is having a good season offensively in 25 games. So Cass, I'm glad you were able to answer that one. And then I'll end it with this for you. We're going to take a look ahead to Tuesday against the Chicago Blackhawks. 8:00 start our time. Oh boy. So a late one. If the Oilers want to make it 8 in a row, what do they got to do?
Well, you got this okay little player over there that's playing some okay hockey. That's really the only guy on the Chicago Blackhawks that's doing anything. So yeah, you shut down Connor Bedard, the Blackhawks lose. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You if you come out and you play the same way you did tonight, the same way that you did against Minnesota, although
Yeah.
again, that wasn't the best game that they played, but you play that same way, generally enthusiastic, and the same way you played the last number, you're going to roll them. It's going to be eliminating those, continuing to limit those high danger scoring chances against, because guys like Bedard can score. You give him the opportunity, he's going to score, but they're a young team. They're not going to be intimidated by you because they're a young team. They just are going to come in and play. There's not really big expectations on them. Again, they're just going to come in and play. So you just have to go out of your way to make it really difficult for them to score, really difficult for them to get opportunities, and you should be all right.
Blackhawks in action right now, hosting the Washington Capitals. No score midway through the first. Chicago rolls into action tonight with a 9-16-1 record, having won 2 straight games through 26 on the season. Matt Kassian, phenomenal work as always. Great stuff from the Princess Room, as Joaquin called it. I think it looks awesome. It sounded great. And go enjoy some time with Chappie and the rest of the fam. Mama Cass did a great job with the backdrop in the orange and blue there too.
She did. I'll let her know you say that. I'm sure they send their loves and hugs because they love you, Tommy. So do I.
The love
it's
is
Christmas.
mutual.
Christmas season. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Cass, talk to you on Tuesday, pal.
Sounds good.
That's Matt Kassian, our game analyst, helping us break down the Oilers' 4-1 victory over the New Jersey Devils. Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev still with you. We have at least 20, 25 minutes where we can continue on. We'll see how the texts are doing. We'll see what's going on in the nasty chat. People are still watching. Yep, pretty solid numbers so far. Be sure to smash that thumbs up button if you're watching and can. That would be great. And if you're not already a subscriber to our EST YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button, the bell button there, and we appreciate it. We're at 6.14 thousand subscribers, so we're climbing, and the word of mouth is really getting around, and I love to hear that and see that. TJ from DeBoers was talking about a good client of his coming into the shop and telling him that we were launched and we had been on for a couple of months. So TJ, great to have you back on board and great to hear from you. I know we popped in on the pregame show. And then I saw some nasties at the game on my way out to get ready for the postgame show. One of them lived in the building, and they were rocking, Trev, you'll love this, the EST hat.
Let's go.
Oh, baby.
That's huge.
It looks better on them than it does on me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, Tommy. You look pretty good with the hat, but that's pretty sweet.
We pay you to say that.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right. No, that's sweet, man. It's going good. We're starting to see. I was looking. I know in the pregame somebody said that they were going to try and put a sticker in the penalty box of any New Jersey Devils player, and I was looking for that sticker. I didn't quite see it. So
see it?
No, I didn't. But no, that's sweet, man. It's going to be. I can't wait to see Edmonton sports talk swag in the city. I'm going to be like, oh snap, that's us. That's us.
It looked good. It was
they
nice.
do.
They're like, hey, Tom. And I looked and I'm like, oh, that is a really nice hat. It stands out, it pops, and it looks good. And so really, really appreciate the support. Have to say that. And nice to meet you boys. And I'm sure we'll see each other around here because they live in the same darn building. Or one of them lives in the same building as me, where the EST satellite studios are. Hampton Steve texts in. Hampton Steve says, Ryan didn't torch Gene, just said nice suit to Gene. Okay. Gino always looks good. He's got great suits. This one from G-Dog the Hog texts in via our inbox, 780-218-9999. G-Dog the Hog says, do you think Campbell in a first would get Heinrich out of Anaheim for the rest of the year, move Brown down to the fourth, and send Holloway to the farm for the rest of the year? He needs time down there the rest of the year. G-Dog the Hog. I don't know if Anaheim would want to take on Campbell necessarily. I said it earlier this week on the old stream in the afternoon with Dusty, that I think in a perfect world, you find a way to not give up a first rounder. Although if the Oilers continue to play well and climb the standings like they have been with the 7-game winner or heater, that first round pick gets less and less valuable. So maybe it's not that much of a stinger to give it up. But Holloway to the farm. I liked Holloway's game before he got hurt. I thought he started to pop. That game he had in Seattle the day or 2 days before that game against the Islanders where he did get hurt. I thought that was his best game as an NHLer. I thought he was probably the best player for the Oilers in Seattle in that win against the Kraken. But we'll see. Maybe a conditioning stint to get him up and running, especially if the Oilers are clicking and going really well still. I think that's okay. This text comes in, says, hey, Tommy. On November 9th, I texted and said their goal has to be 500 after 25 games. They did it. No, they have bigger goals, but this is a big step. Yep, that is true. Good point. And I do see that text. I scrolled up. I see it. And they have gotten to 500. I know OT lost in there as well, 12-12-1 now, but essentially 500 and looking to go above 500 on Tuesday against the Blackhawks. Vance Van Vandervan, hello, Vance Van Vandervan, says that Hughes fella had worse balance than me after a night of heavy drinking. I've seen Vance Van Vandervan after a night of some libations, and he was still upright, but a little wobbly, I should say. Babbage Stash, hello, Babbage Stash, great to hear from you. Great game, Tommy. I was scared that Pickard was in net, but that dude was kicking. I got on the big screen after the McDavid goal, cheered so hard, my wedding ring flew off. What a great Sunday afternoon. Babbage Stash, I hope you found it or it didn't go too far, but yikes. That's a good Sunday, I would say, minus the wedding ring falling off. Chris Naus via the nasty chat says, Tom, any news on Campbell? No way you can send Pickard down after that, can you? I wouldn't. I don't think there's a rush to. And I don't mind being patient. And I'm sure Jack Campbell wants to be in the NHL. But at the same time, I think Calvin Pickard, for the time being, especially after today's game, is serviceable. And personally, I like patience. I like taking a more conservative approach to making decisions with the roster. And what we saw from Jack Campbell this season, I would be in no rush to bring him back up. And I always talked about maybe there was a promise from management to the player on getting him up at a certain point in time and maybe giving him, a 2-3 week window and saying, all right, in 2-3 weeks, we'll call you up. But I don't know why they would do that unless it was strictly out of loyalty to him. So I don't see an onus on getting him back up. And Pickard was excellent against a very good team today. I wouldn't send him down. That's just me, though. We'll see what the Oilers do. Any audio or video to get to? Do we have that yet, Trev?
Yeah, I'm just working on it right now. So we got maybe like 2 more minutes, and then we'll be ready to send that out.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll get to some audio and video from the locker room after the Oilers win 4-1 over the New Jersey Devils, 7 straight victories. Edmonton now 12-12-1 on the season. I'll get to some more text. 780-218-9999 is the number if you're listening in your car or you're just listening to the audio stream or on TuneIn. And then if you're watching, of course, the nasty chat, talk amongst yourselves, as Mike Myers used to say. I used that twice today. This one says, boys, with every passing game, I'm starting to think that maybe my preseason sprinkle on Campbell for Vezina might not be looking too good. That comes in from the rookie. No, that's bad money. That's bad money. That's money wasted, the rookie, for sure. Another text from Tom Dixon's mustache comes in. Says, boys, can all those wanting to fire Schwartzy apologize now? Maybe it wasn't the goaltending as it was the play in front of them. Tom Dixon's mustache, that was something that we discussed quite a bit, saying how bad the team was structurally in its own zone, defense and forwards, leading to so many opportunities and tap-in goals for the opposition. in the first month of the season, month and a little bit. It's hard to stop 2-on-1s, 5 times a game, or backdoor tap-ins when sticks aren't getting lifted and you're getting hemmed in for 30 seconds for large portions of periods at a time. So I stand by. I think it was the team was so bad defensively. They hung out both of their goalies, and it led to the downfall of Jack Campbell after an excellent preseason that he had. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one, Tom Dixon's mustache, and I stand by that. So, and Stuart Skinner's game, he has made clutch saves at opportune times, and then today we saw it again from Calvin Pickard, where he made some big stops. The Liquid Beaver, great name, says Leon needs to go to the net more. He's playing in the perimeter, hence lack of opportunities. That's for the Liquid Beaver. Donnie M says, hey, TG, Derek complimented Gino's suit, I think. Donnie M with that one. I think we're probably going to hear it, hopefully, in some of the audio. I'm going to read this one. Says, loved how the fourth line played and got to give it up to Pickard for having a steady game and keeping the win streak going. That's from GJ on D. Okay, we're going to go into the locker room here. If Trev gives me the thumbs up, are we good, Trev?
Yeah, we're A1.
Okay, we're A1. I like that. We're going to go into the locker room. Send in those texts, 780-218-9999. Your thoughts, comments, criticisms of the Oilers where they pick up their 7th straight victory, and we'll read those, and then nasty chat as well. But let's go into the Oilers locker room after the win. And who is up first? Trev.
I want to hear what Calvin Pickard has to say.
Awesome.
Here he is after his first win in a few years.
It's always nice to come in and feel like you can contribute.
For sure, yeah. Can't put too much pressure on yourself when you don't play very often, but feel good in practice, and I wanted to just keep it going, and I thought we played a great game all the way through. Very defensive, really good special teams, and we deserve to win.
Is it difficult when, like, halfway through the game you got 7 shots? For a guy, do you want to see more? You're like, no, I'll take 7.
I mean, you see all different kinds of games. There's games that happen like that, and I think they had 7 shots maybe in the first 5 minutes of the third. So they're kind of a off the rush team, and they kind of brought it in the third period. But that's hockey. Obviously, we had a lead 3-0, and that's going to happen. So I thought we tightened up pretty good, and didn't give them a ton.
When you sign with the Oilers, I think it's probably as a third guy, as an emergency call-up type of guy. Did you think you'd get a chance to come in here and start a game and win in the NHL this year?
Yeah, you're obviously looking for that opportunity. It hasn't happened much the last year and a half, and like I said before, you can't put too much pressure on yourself when there's few starts and few and far between. But I thought, the last couple of weeks since I've played last, we've had some really good practice time, and I feel good about my game right now. So moving forward, this game's just gonna put that confidence in my mind and just go from there.
You've been around a long time. You started in the most professional buildings in the A and the NHL at some point in your life. Did you get nervous anymore? Are there any nerves?
When I'm nervous, I'm not playing my game. I want to go out every game with a clear mind and, be prepared. That preparation makes me have a clear mind when I'm going out there on the ice. So felt good today. Just want to build off it.
Let's do it. 7 starts in a row. So I just wonder, can you explain what it's like for somebody in your position, just kind of waiting and then just get the tap? What's that like?
Yeah, you got to show up every day in practice. It's big. Obviously, I've been in this situation before, and when your name's called upon, you just got to go about your business the same way, whether you're playing 10 in a row or 1 out of 10. So, we have a really good goalie union here. Shorty's been great for me, and Skins as well. So, it's a good thing we got going right now, and we just got to keep it rolling.
How much did it help that they played a really tight defensive game in front of you?
For sure. They had their power plays too, and I thought our penalty kill was great. But yeah, 5-on-5 there wasn't a ton, and a couple saves early got me into it. So, but no, it was really good.
And a couple saves late too. What did those do for your confidence?
Yeah, for sure. When they pull the goalie, there's going to be some looks, especially with a lot of skill over there. So, I thought we did a really good job and kind of iced it right away.
Are you at the point in your life and your career where you're savoring games like this? Like, are you not there yet?
I don't want to think I'm there yet. No. I know I can play in this league. Obviously I haven't had a ton of opportunities, but this is a good game for me to build off of, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's next.
You know that you're 3-0 against Jersey. Did you know that going into the game? You played them 2 times.
Well, that's good. I guess I don't know if the coach threw me in for that reason, but no, it's good. I like hearing that.
All right, there's Calvin Pickard picking up his first win as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. That is his first victory at the NHL level since January 28th, 2022 at Pittsburgh. And he does improve to 3-0 against the New Jersey Devils, 1-1 this season. And a really good interview, well-spoken. I had a chance to chat with him in the locker room earlier this week. Just a good dude. Just a really good dude. You get that vibe, Trev, off of him? Because I did.
Yeah, he seems like a real nice guy. Nice guy. I like what he had to say. It was awesome watching him play tonight. One thing I find very different, like every goalie has their thing, but he just covers the puck up so quick. Like it's like his reaction, he's on it like that. That's one thing I noticed. Like he doesn't give the opposition any time whatsoever to get a rebound. He's on it super quick. So I like that. He was super good tonight.
Very good performance for Calvin Pickard, picking up the win today against the New Jersey Devils. A big one for the Oilers to make it 7 straight victories. All right, let's go back into the Oilers locker room. YouTube, Trev, you're at the wheel here, pal. Where do you want to go next?
Right on. Let's listen to Connor Brown. I want to hear what he has to say. So here he is after thinking he scored a goal, but unfortunately he didn't.
You probably know that team a little bit better than some of the people out west. They're very talented. How did you guys kind of make sure to handle them and not let them get back in this one?
Yeah, a lot of great skaters over there, especially their forward group. So I think once we got a lead, I thought we'd get a good job of controlling the play and not forcing things at the blue line and making their D turn, so they couldn't we couldn't get the track meet going, and I think that plays into their hand.
So Connor, when the goal was wiped out, what were you thinking?
You almost have to laugh. Right? It's just the way she's going right now. But it's for me. I think I'm contributing a lot, and penalty kill and other aspects. So just focus on what I'm doing well, and just know that the bounces will come.
Did you tell as you were waiting for the replay as you saw the replay, you're thinking, maybe I didn't?
No, I didn't even look at the replay. They didn't play it up on the jumbotron or anything. So. But a couple of the guys in the benches were saying it could go either way. So unfortunate, but we bounced straight back, and it was a good, solid win for us.
How much pride is your group taking in the way you're killing penalties?
Big time. I think we're killing with a lot of confidence. Even the ones that we are killing, we're finding things that we can improve on. We're trying to add as much pressure as possible, and I think that we're killing really well, and I think we can get better too. So it's a good sign.
When the backup comes in and plays as well as Pickard did. Who doesn't play much?
It's exciting. It's like it's one of those things where everyone just feels so happy for the guy, and he stood on his head, especially down the stretch in that game. I thought he did a great job, and so you're nothing but happy for him. It's always fun.
Sorry, what do you say about the goaltending over the course of these last 7 games? It seems like they've really turned the table along with the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've done great. I think they've been solid in there. Stop the one they need to, and. I think also I think we've done a better job of being a little bit more predictable and less seam plays and backdoor chances. So they can feel good in it, and the puck can, they know where the shot's coming from and things like that.
I feel like you guys have they've settled the group down a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think top to bottom, I think the boys feel very confident in our game.
Connor Brown there had a goal taken off the board in the first period. It was ruled interference. Evander Kane getting tied up with Akira Schmid, and that's too bad. And Connor Brown did have the post in the game the other day against Minnesota as well, so he is around it. It is frustrating, though, for a guy that is used to putting up some points. He's not an offensive dynamo by any means, but he's capable. And just 1 point on the year, finishes with a -1 today. 2 penalty minutes, 1 shot, and did win the faceoff he took. 12:48 time on ice for Brown, and he did have a healthy contribution to the PK, and the PK went 4 for 4, make it 38 of the last 42 that the Oilers have killed off in their last 11 games now. And Brown on the PK today did play I'm looking at it here. He had a minute 47 on the penalty kill, or a minute 44, pardon me. So he did contribute to that 4 for 4 on the PK, which is good. And you know what? You heard him talking about it there. He does take pride in that, and that is something that is working quite well for the Edmonton Oilers. YouTube Trev, you wanted to hear from Connor Brown. What did you take away from that?
Yeah, it's nice to see he's not getting down on himself, right? He's pretty confident still, and that'll go a long way. He's so close, man. He's just snake bitten, and the puck's gonna eventually go in for him. So it's only time. When you're playing with Leon Draisaitl and Vander Kane, like the chances that he's getting, it's so unfortunate. But like you said, he's still contributing. Where even though he's not contributing offensively, whether it's being on the penalty kill, he's not the worst or so. He's still playing okay. So yeah, no, I'm all for it. He's gonna eventually get off the schneid, if you will, and it could be as early as Chicago, up against Chicago. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe
that's what Dusty every morning is like. Is he getting off the schneid tonight? Oh, well, time will tell.
I like that. The old schneid. Get off of it, Connor Brown. Sebastian via the Nasty Chat says, McDavid was a buzzsaw out there tonight. 4 hits today. He can't do that every game, but it's nice to see. And I think almost all 4 of them were on Michael McLeod. But yes, he was definitely throwing his body and weight around there a little bit. I like that. Thank you, Sebastian. Appreciate the text. Jack says, hell of a game. No pun intended. Well played, Jax. Well played. Okay. We are going to hear from Darnell Nurse, and then we're going to wrap up with the player of the game. Trev will take care of that. And then do we have coach or no? Or do you want to forego coach? What do you think?
Yeah, we don't have coach right now.
That's fine. We'll do that. We'll go and hear from Darnell Nurse. Then we'll get to some text to wrap up, and then we'll also do player of the game as well. How does that sound?
Sounds good, man.
All right, let's hear from Darnell Nurse.
Hasn't seen a ton of action here and comes in and gives you a game like that.
Yeah, no, he was unbelievable. Obviously, he's stayed ready. It shows all the work that he's been putting in, and came out, made some huge saves for us, and especially down the line there at the end, and it was awesome to see.
We often hear he's very popular, and you can see it too. What kind of makes him so popular in joining the group, and you see him do what he does out there, but it seems like behind the scenes he gets along well with everyone.
Yeah, no, I think that's you nailed on how he gets along with everyone. It's just the way he carries himself, and he's always asking guys questions, how they're doing and whatnot, and has a good grasp of everyone in the room. I think that's what makes him so special as a teammate, and very fortunate to have him here.
Minnesota didn't give up very much, and today up until you're up 3-0, then they pushed a little bit. But you just talk about the overall team defense and how stingy it's been as of late.
Yeah, I mean we're making teams come through 5 guys, and then obviously our goalies have made some huge saves at big moments. And I think the commitment to defense throughout the whole group is. It's shown. It's the reason why we're in the position and climbing our way out of the spot that we were in, because we've really committed and buttoned down the defensive side, and that's not so much just sitting back. It's just playing a more simple game offensively, and sensing danger when things aren't maybe gonna bounce in the right direction. We're not taking that chance. We're having guys back and making teams come through 5.
I mean, seeing the penalty kill that's better the last 3 weeks to a month.
Yeah, no, I think it comes down to the details of the game. Obviously, every team has a distinctive kill or a way that they want to kill, but a lot of it comes down to instinct and having a lot of reps together. I think you look at the pairs and not only defensively but offensively that go out there, and guys are beginning to get a little more chemistry, knowing where each other are on the ice, and the best kills in the league, Gully and Stu always talk about, are instinctual, and for us to be more instinctual and reading off each other, and knowing when to pressure, when not to. I think it's been coming along, and obviously we've had some success, and we got to continue to build on it.
Darnell, you mentioned the climb. You guys are at 500 now. What does that mean at this point?
I mean, the sun maybe will come up tomorrow, but no, for us, I think just knowing that we've played some good hockey and won a lot of games in a row, but with the position that we put ourselves in, we can't get complacent. We got to continue to stay hungry and push ourselves more and more to not only compete at the level that we're at, but I think we still have steps and room that we can grow as a team. So it's been great to climb and get to this spot. But like I said, we have a lot of work yet to do.
For your game specifically, Darnell, like what do you really like about what you're doing right now? What you have in your game?
Yeah, I think just first and foremost, just starts with my legs. Not even just jumping into plays, but finding myself in good spots defensively and able to break up plays. And obviously being given more and more opportunity to go out there and play. It's been good for me just to, like I said, it all starts with my legs and getting back to the player that's hard to play against. And I think that doesn't always come with the physical aspect of punching people in the face or whatnot. It's more so just being in areas and disruptive. And I think it's been good. And like I said, like our team game, there's still more room to grow as this season goes on.
You got a long way back on that back check to knock the puck. You sure had the rebound there.
Mm-hmm.
You skated a long way back.
Yeah.
Play there.
Oh yeah, the legs feel good.
But he can skate.
The legs feel good. So I think that's you want to go out there and like my game, just want to play with instinct and feel the game and play the game and not think too much. And I feel like that's the point I'm at.
I'm not sure if it's just me, but are you guys using the middle of the ice a little bit more? Like, just seems things breaking out a little bit smoother through the middle of the ice. I don't know if that's been a focus lately, but it seems to me that they're a little more Darnell.
Yeah. I think our decor. There's been multiple guys talked about just being creative and making plays coming out of our zone. A lot of times, when you're not doing that, you resort to just going off the boards. And the confidence to make plays with our group, I think, has been a lot higher as of late, and that has opened up the middle A. So.
Darnell Nurse there. He led the team in time on ice, played a really solid game, made some good defensive plays, made some nice crisp passes out of his zone that led to opportunities. +1 with 2 penalty minutes, hit 5 shots, and 24-15 time on ice. I saw some text in the nasty chat. GSB, tongue-in-cheek, says, playing like he's worth 7.25. We're almost there. I see what you did there. Pretty good. Brandon says, big 7 in a row. Keep this freight train rolling. Oilers were just fashionably late to the NHL party. LFG. Yes. Really good to see them get to 12-12-1. And that was a terrible start at 2-9-1 at one point. And I still think back to that night where they lost to San Jose in San Jose. That was desolate.
Crushing.
And, crushing. Good way to describe it.
It's just
crushing.
It's just insane just how much this team has changed, Tommy. And even in the interviews afterwards, just the guys are smiling. Yeah, just all the pressure is gone. But it's good to just keep going, right? They can't
keep going.
Yeah, they got to keep going. So it's just they're looking so much better and pretty well every aspect of their game.
Yes.
And it's crazy just the complete 180 this team. It's hard to make sense of it, man. It really is.
They woke up, man, and it took the shame of getting their coach fired, or a couple of coaches fired. But here they are, 7-game heater, and now all of a sudden they are inching their way back into the wild card playoff picture with a couple of games in hand, and that's good to see. Lots of hockey left to be played. And this team looks like it has awoken. All right, time now to get to the Damon Bunting RE/MAX Elite Player of the Game. Damon Bunting, consistent top producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. He's community driven, knows what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. YouTube, Trev, do your thing, baby.
Awesome. Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, so what a great game. There's a few honorable mentions. Obviously, Connor McDavid was just skating everywhere tonight, laying the body. Usually, you don't see his physicality until playoffs. Like, he never is really a physical kind of guy. So it was nice to see him lay the body, and he did it a few times against Ryan's brother, Michael McLeod. So that's kind of awesome. Ekholm and Bush, I thought were just so good. They're really starting to read off each other very well. Mm-hmm. Just the chemistry those guys are getting. I don't know if that's Paul Coffey, but when Ekholm pinches, the team is just knowing when to play back, and they're making great reads. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Ekholm. He was unreal on the penalty kill. He was physical. Oh, it was so good to see. So yeah, that's another honorable mention. And then the kid that was announcing the goals, he was awesome, man. He was bringing it. He's got a future. What a bright future. He brought it, and they had him on the intermission with Gene, and just the energy. That guy he was awesome. He was so good. But
it was noticeable in the building. I was like, yeah, he's doing a good job. He did really good.
He's bringing it. So they need that. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's his job in the future. Time will tell. Maybe. So Calvin Pickard, though, I mean, this was a great story. It's so nice to see. He was just so good. His rebound control, the save late in the game against Jack Hughes, which was like a 1T, that's going in on a lot of goalies, and right place at the right time. It was a huge save. So he looked great. 1.02 goals against average and 963 save percentage. He was awesome, man, and it's gonna be, if he can keep that up, that's just gonna be huge for the Oilers, right? If they can have a reliable backup. The chemistry that Stu and Pickard seem to have is, they're getting a little bit of a bromance there, and that goes a long way. So it's so good to see. So yeah, he is absolutely your Damon Bunting player of the game. Attaboy Calvin.
Attaboy. Well done, YouTube Trev, as the Oilers win it 4-1 over the New Jersey Devils. We do have a few texts to get to wrap things up. If you want to slide one in late, 780-218-9999. Nasty chat looks like it's getting quiet. If you're on your way out, we thank you for joining us. Smash that thumbs up button on your way out. Appreciate that. And if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. We appreciate it as well. Let's go to Hampton Steve. Hampton Steve texts in and says, I would keep Campbell down in Baco until at least the California road trip at the end of the month, when you can spot him in against the Sharks or the Ducks. Hampton Steve, I have no qualms with that whatsoever. That's just me, though. You never know. We'll see if that does come to fruition. Fat Dan says, the rookie just has to double down on Campbell while the odds are real long. He's going to be rich. P.S. Boy, those jokes and sarcasm about the Woodcroft firing starting to make me look real dumb. That's from Fat Dan. Fat Dan, good to hear from you. Big Uke says, why do Oilers media always have to ask about age and end of career? Big Uke, I don't know why, if it's all of us, but I'm assuming it might have something to do with a storyline that's going into an article or a column. That's my guess. But I can't answer for everybody. I can try, though. That's my best guess. G-Dog the Hog says, thanks for reading my text, Tommy. I think them getting Campbell lets them sell off Gibson for more. That was my main thought. I understand. That way they could reload by getting some good assets for Gibson. If G-Dog the Hog, if the Ducks are going to go through a full rebuild, and you're assuming or saying that maybe Gibson doesn't want to be a part of that. And that, you never know. That might be the case, but I get you. I understand, and I appreciate the follow-up. Thank you, G-Dog the Hog. And then Justin gets this one to wrap things up. TG, big night. 2 wins in a row with the EST hat in the house. Anthem singer was absolutely bomb. What a performance. Justin, all those kids did a great job. Even the kid playing Kit. I looked up and I'm like, who the hell is that mascot? I'm like, that's not Hunter. Or did they give Hunter like nicer eyes, not as menacing? And it was Kit, the junior mascot. And everybody, all the kids today, it was loud in there. The kids were loving it. They had a lot to cheer about. Anthem singer, PA announcer, DJ, reporter. I saw Bailey Sheets had a shadow that was reporting and doing social media for the team alongside her. Like, they all did a great job. And that next gen game, it's a great idea. Nice to see the kids get involved. And you know what? Those are future Oiler fans if they're not already Oiler fans. And I don't work for the Oilers anymore, but at one point or another, future season seat holders. Right? Right, Trev?
Absolutely. That's why, that's maybe why they do it. But yes, 100%. They're planning. They're smart.
Hey, they had a lot to cheer for, and the team does provide a lot of excitement and a lot of fulfillment when they're playing well. So I get it. We all are fans of teams, and we live and die with them. And the fact that they did that, the Oilers organization, I think they've done it for a couple of years, was really well executed and nice to see too. That's the bottom line, and I enjoyed that. So kudos to the Oilers for doing that. Well done to all the kids who took part, and the team then gives them a ton to cheer about to the entire fan base in a 4-1 victory over the New Jersey Devils. That is going to do it for the Oil Stream postgame show. A huge thank you to everyone who tuned in, whether you watched us on EST's YouTube channel or you listened on the TuneIn app or are just on our audio stream. You know, we appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who texted in, whether it was on the nasty chat or our inbox. And for YouTube, Trev and Matty Kassian, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone. Ciao for now. Be sure to get your 6 o'clocker loggers. So crushable. I'm just about done this one. Maybe I'll have one more, but that'll do it for tonight. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.